Another topic here on the front page of the Daily Nation. Criticals awarded me 2,500 acres of his farm. So how we did it? Deputy President, who is on tour of the coastal region, is forced to confront the controversy surrounding his 2,536 acres of Mata farm in Taita Taveta County, explaining his dealings with Basil criticals and opening himself up for scrutiny over his land dealings. So is this a way of the Deputy President showing that he's honest? This was a willing buyer, willing seller kind of conversation. And this is one conversation that has always been on the front pages in terms of how much does he own, what kind of land, how did he acquire it. For him coming out to declare that this was awarded to me, the 2,500 acres, after I helped him pay a loan, does that show how open he is? Or the critics would say that still there are questions on how much property people own in this country?
Thank you very much. One, I wanted first to demystify a point. Before I can answer that question, I think Lavender has made a wrong presumption in saying that Kalonzo is coming with 2 million plus vote. That number has been bandied, but that is not the case. So Kambani can give a max, a top-ups of 1 million vote, not 2 million. 2 million is a significant amount. So that is one thing I wanted to correct. 1 million votes, yes, but there's no guarantee that it is 100%. Even in 2013 and in 2017, Jubilee still got around 20 to 23%. So give them a top swap of around 800,000. And the same can be compensated elsewhere. Secondly, the question that you've raised about the Deputy President, I think this election is unique in its own way. This is an election that is about putting issues and agenda on the table, and more importantly, showing Kenyans the true state of affairs. And I think when the Deputy President decided to put a declaration, if you look at the Deputy President's opponents, one of the biggest selling card they have been using is that the Deputy President is corrupt or his team is corrupt. So I think putting the record straight bring the discussion to the table. Kenya Kwanza has come to the table and say our strong point is on matters economy, but at the same time we want forthright and straightforward leadership, so that if there is a problem, we will acknowledge there is a problem. In fact, if you look at the campaigns of Kenya Kwanza, they have been clear, saying that as a Jubilee regime, there are successes and there are failures. And when we choose to say that we want to change the trajectory, it is acknowledging the failures. So if you talk about the issue of land, it is an emotive issue. It has always been used against him as a person, and he's not shied away from that. I think even in press interviews, he's come out clearly to express himself on the same. So I think it's a bold step for him as a leading contender at this important hour where elections are around the corner. Any other person would have jumped away from the controversy and wouldn't wash even a mention of the issue. But for him accepting to bring it to the table shows you the determination and the desire to be able to set the record straight. Importantly, remember, in the coastal region, lands is the major issue, because you have absentee landlords and you have the big landowners, and majority of the population at the coast do not have their own title deeds. I think Jubilee tried, even the Grand Coalition government, I think under Orengo, when they try to distribute titles, that remains an emotive issue in the land. Why would you think, for example, Raila Odinga would appoint Joho as a lands cabinet secretary designate? Because at the coast, 50 to 60%, especially rural coast, Kwale, Kilifi, Taita Taveta, the 60-70% of the issues that will be determining factor will be the issue about lands. So I think the Deputy President wants to make it an agenda and doesn't want to allow it to be more or less be a propaganda where it said he grabbed all that. No, it is clear where he comes out clear, and you could see the choice of the venue, Taita Taveta, where the issue is a serious problem. Because in Taita Taveta, you cannot rule out the issue of Savo National Park, and then you have these big landowners. The President family is the biggest landowner family in that particular place, but rarely have you seen leaders coming out and accepting and acknowledging. But for him, I think that's a bold move, and going to the next 2 months, the battle for the heart and soul of the coast votes will be on the issue of lands, and I think both coalitions will come out guns blazing. The Deputy President has decided to put himself on the line, and he is willing and ready to answer on the same, and I think it will give us, for example, as voters, or it will give even the media a chance to be able to make such an important emotive issue in the coast to be at the center of the campaign for the two coalitions.